Yo, what's up, man? What we got?
Real food, rice from Rich Piana and 5% nutrition. All right, everyone. So a while ago, CJ and the crew, you reviewed Real Food.
Dude, is 5% just like, they're coming out with everything,
They're
dude. Like, I
slinging
think it's
it.
all I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, so this is kind of like a new version / new flavor of the old. Back in the day, they used to have it in buckets. I'm sorry to say the bucket's been discontinued. I love the bucket.
It was cool. We talked about that in our review too. It was like a sand bucket. Like
right, but yeah, they didn't stack well. So we're back to a regular tub that ships well and everything. So anyway, the Real Food, there were two problems with Real Food. First thing was, it was kind of expensive. It was based off of yams, oats, and sweet potatoes, and it was about $40 for a big tub. The second problem is that 5% nutrition and the guys, they didn't realize how successful they're gonna be with it, and they sold out. And the problem is that yams are seasonal, and so they had to wait for like the dry yam stock to get back in.
Yams are also seasonable.
So I love that stuff and everything, but it came to the point where people wanted something cheaper, and they weren't necessarily needing the yams. So 5% came out with Real Food rice version. Now the first thing I need to mention.
You were telling me that this is based off of something that's close to Rich.
So
right?
Rich apparently he loves his Cocoa Pebbles and his Cocoa Krispies. So we're trying to kind of mimic, this is called Cocoa Heaven flavor, trying to kind of mimic the kind of like chocolatey cereal taste.
Okay.
But the thing you need to realize here is that, and let me just go through the macros here. You have in a 37-gram scoop, you're gonna get 20 grams of carbs, and there's only 2 of that from sugar. Whereas like cereal has a crap load of sugar added. So this is replacing that.
Is there more fiber in this one than the other one?
Exactly, and so that's one thing that you commented on before. There was basically no fiber, like 1 gram.
Yeah.
This has 6 grams of fiber.
Oh wow.
So
Okay,
it's like
sweet.
24% of your daily
6 grams. How many of the carbs? 20.
20 grams of carbs.
Okay, 6. I mean, that's a really good ratio.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's high fiber.
And so yeah, I figured that'd make you happier. Now here's how it breaks down. You have 23 grams worth of rice bran. So this isn't just like cooked rice or anything. It's actually rice bran. So you kind of have to set an expectation that you're going to get kind of that Wheaties-ish, bran taste a little bit. And then they have a natural form of maltodextrin, comes from tapioca, 6 grams of that. And then we have the oats again, 5 grams of oats, so a little bit less of that. If you weren't a huge fan of the oat consistency in the regular Real Food, this has a little bit, but a little bit less.
Okay, cool. What comes with tapioca? That makes me think of my grandma.
It's a new natural form of maltodextrin and everything. Add a little bit of
Do people still eat tapioca? Is that a thing? Like, I don't know.
Oh, dude, that's the best.
Really?
I haven't had it for a while.
You're so old, man. Like.
All right, here's the good news, though. The bucket's gone, but the trough scooper is not.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I thought we're gonna lose the trough. That's sweet.
All right. So I'm gonna tear it out, though. The issue is, I don't know if anyone cares that much, but we want a 37-gram scoop to get 20 grams of carbs.
Cool. Well, let's go over here and we're gonna weigh it out and everything. We're just gonna figure out, because that was our issue before, was how the hell do you know like what the serving is without actually weighing it, because that trough is super awkward. But hold on.
Pretty big heaping. You can see the oat chunks in there. There's a lot of cocoa in this thing. Let's knock a little bit off. Oh, geez. Why is it so light?
27, and that's a heaping.
I want a 37 scoop. Jeez, so you got to get a good, thick, big scoop in here to hit your number. So the trough is fun, but if you're like maniac about counting calories, just put it onto a food scale, and let's give it a little review and see how this looks. All right, so we got 1 serving here. Let's get you a serving. So the thing is, and this is where a lot of people are gonna bitch and moan and gripe, and the 5% videos always bring in the best of the haters on YouTube. Anything Rich Piana does. Do you want your food supplements to be food-based? Or are you cool with just eating 20 grams worth of carbs from, some candy like CJ does a lot? Or do you really think that you're gonna get a better effect out of rice and yams and things like that? And so if you wanna have a quick kind of carb supplement, but you want it to be real food-based, I think these are great things. But if you're like so into flexible dieting that you don't care at all, and you'll go and eat a Subway sandwich, or you'll go and just eat candy or whatever, then obviously this isn't gonna be for you. This is a quick kind of real food type of supplement that's not going to need to be cooked, really. So
let's see it. Let's do this taste test, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, so these bottles, the tub doesn't say how much water, so it's kind of like choose your own adventure. Got one with like 10 ounces, this one 12, 14 ounces.
Okay, so you've definitely got, I've got, I don't know if you can see all this like little gritties and stuff at the bottom.
You're
just
gonna
like
swirl it.
Yeah, so this is a shake, and we did this with the last real food too. You definitely had like the chunks. Actually, it looked more chunky than this though.
Right, because there was more oat than this one has. So let's see if, can you make the zoom into my fingers here?
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
I think that's zoomed out.
All right.
There comes the oats. And the stuff at the end. So, smoother consistency than...
So, I'm going to tell you this, all right? This is my first thing. I have not tasted this product at all yet, but this is funny. The last real food, I kind of made a joke because it came in a bucket and it came in a little trough, and I was like, this literally, I grew up on a farm, guys. This reminds me of horse feed. And every time I smell this, and this one smells the same actually, very similar, I think I'm in Tractor Supply. Like, this reminds me of like what you feed the animals. Now, the real food didn't taste like that, now, so I'm not saying that, but it's just, it brings back some old on the farm memories,
He's
guys.
calling you 5%ers, a bunch of animals.
That's for damn sure. All right, here we go. You know, it's funny, man. Like, I kind of almost like expected this taste, and it is, in my opinion, just kind of plain. It's like, it's not like,
the bran is a bit strong here.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of cocoa, but it's still not overwhelming the bran. It's like liquefied. To me, like liquefied raisin bran without the raisins, like liquefied bran flakes plus cocoa.
Yeah,
That's what I'm getting.
A little bit of like, yeah. So I would imagine, yeah, like liquefied the bran and the raisin bran with a little bit of chocolate on it. That's actually a really good way to put it, because you do get a heavy dose of that bran, but it's not like you don't taste chocolate. There's definitely chocolate in here.
Right.
We can taste the chocolate, but this is not a Cocoa Puff. This is not like cocoa cereal. Like, this is not a whey protein. This is not what you're used to with, you know, the chocolatey whey proteins either. So
yeah, and so I personally do like the regular real food better. I'm a huge fan of the supplement. I think their review was way short, because I do believe in eating more real food than Mr. Candy over here. So, you know, it's going to depend on where you belong on that, and if you want a quick, easy supplement that's a carb.
Can I show them this really quick though? So, and I'm so sorry to interrupt, but okay, so I got this stuff at the bottom, and this is all the oats or whatever. Look, I'm shaking. Okay, I'm shaking. I'm trying. Like, this is me like kind of making an attempt, and then it's not coming out.
Oh,
it's stuck
so
down there.
The last step's going to get all your oats then.
Yeah,
so you can kind of chew that. Now, what I like here though is I have a low fiber intake a lot of times. This, I think, is like a great fiber supplement compared to anything else. It's carbs plus fiber. It's a good ratio and everything. So if you're looking at your macros and you're like, dude, I'm not getting enough fiber, I think that this is a good way of getting your carbs in with some fiber. You're already at like 25% of your day after you throw in a scoop.
Assuming you're getting everything at the bottom. I did just think about something though. Okay, so, and we used to, back in the day, back in the old school days, man, whenever we were trying to hit our macros and stuff with bodybuilding, we would actually just put oats in water, and we would literally drink our oats because it was convenient. But here's the way you do it, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys some advice. You put the lid on your shaker cup, not like I'm doing now. Put it to your mouth, but do not take anything in. Let it fall, and then consume. Right. So that's how you fix that.
Yeah, last tube, getting a little swirls. But as you can see, I'm drinking it fast because I do like it a lot. I still think that regular real food is a little better, but it is more expensive. It's not always in stock. But I am more of a fan of, you know, like eating the real food, where Rich Piana is a little bit on that as well. And so this isn't going to be for everyone, and you know, that's why we're going to get 5,000 thumbs downs here. But overall, I like that 5% nutrition once again is doing something different than anyone else has done.
Sure.
And if you need a carb supplement, real food or real food rice are both awesome, awesome to look at. Real food, I think, tastes better. This is better with fiber.
Yeah, look, same thing. Everyone knows my stance. He's already said that. Look, I'm a fan of, you know, like, if I'm going to get my carbohydrates, it's probably not going to be necessarily from real food or the real food products, just because I prefer it from different sources. But with that being said, what he said about the innovation of 5% nutrition is something that I have to give mad props to. From being a business owner, from being around the supplement industry and doing these reviews, I love the fact that 5% nutrition is pushing the boundaries of new stuff, and that we're seeing so many products out. Like, it's no wonder why they're popular. You know, their branding is different than what I like, but that's just just my opinion, and the truth is, they're doing something right because they have a huge cult following. They have, you know, I gotta give props to Rich and the 5% crew all together, man, because the reality is they're doing something correctly, and they also don't bullshit with the ingredients, man. Like, they're giving you what they're saying they're giving you, and the other products that we've gotten have been heavily dosed with stuff. So hey, good on you, man. I mean, it's not a product I'm buying, but hey, some of you guys out there are not, you know, on the same boat as me. So
yeah, I'm spending the extra $6 to get the regular real food myself.
Yeah.
CJ, guess how many grams of protein are in here?
Oh gosh, I didn't even think.
It's 120 calories. 20 grams of
carbs. Did we say the fat content?
We did not. That's why I'm doing this now. 5 grams of fat.
I'm gonna say 5 or less in the protein.
Yeah, there's 4 grams of protein here too.
Nice.
So
okay.
You get a little bit of everything here. It's not just the carb supplement. You do have 5 grams of fat.
And I'm assuming that obviously it's like a rice protein, which is going to be a different amino acid ratio.
It's a pretty good ratio though.
Is it,
rice.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then some of the carbs are probably coming from the cocoa as well. There's a lot of cocoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, man. I mean, so the macros make sense, especially for a carb supplement with that the fiber. The fiber is a selling point for me. For sure. I get a lot of clients that have a hard time eating fiber, so that's the selling point for me.
Right. So. All right, so PricePlow.com is where you can check in the best deals, and as always, we will be looking forward to all the great comments under this video because Rich Piana brings out all the best in YouTube.
All right. See you later, guys.
I'll turn this off.